ready. Remember, listening to everyone equally. Here we go.
Okay, so I've always been a bit of a performer, and like from as long as I can remember, I was always like putting on shows for my family and stuff. But my first experience of doing any kind of show was when I was about like 4 years old. I did ballet for a few years, and I remember doing like a little show then, which was very cute. And then when I was a bit older, around 8, I was part of this like group, and we did this like talent show kind of thing, and we performed some like very improvised like little scenes and stuff. Don't ask me what they were about, because I honestly can't remember. And then I also sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow with my best friend at the time, which was very cute. And then after the show, people apparently came up to my parents and were like, she's good, she needs to be doing something performing arts. So from that, my parents signed me up for like a youth theatre at South Street in Reading, where I got to play Mary Poppins, which you can see there. I absolutely loved that. It was so much fun. And from there, I've kind of just loved performing arts and just been invested in it. Acting would definitely be my favourite discipline and my strength. I just love like when I get into a character and just getting lost in the moment and just really investing myself into that character. So yeah. What have I already done before starting this course? Well, I was part of South Street Youth Theatre for quite a few years, where so part of the thing there is that we never do scripted shows. It was always unscripted, which at times we ended up creating very weird shows, and often it just ended up being improvised there on the night when we did the shows. But I learned a lot about like how to direct and create and devise a show, so it was a very interesting experience. I've done up to Lambda grade 8 in acting, and I'm currently working on grade 7, and I'm currently working on my grade 8, which I'm taking in December, and that'll be the final one. I've done so many different types of monologues, so I would say strength is doing like monologues, because I've just done so many there, and I've done a real mix. My favourite's probably actually been doing Shakespeare, and then most recently it was like a project. I was part of a National Theatre Connections play, which honestly I think has been one of my favourite things ever. It was so much fun, and got to work with such a wonderful group of people, and I just learned about like how we did like a workshop process for it, which meant that we kind of just like each week we would like just add to it and like work out how we were going to do stuff, and it actually felt like they said to us, right, this is going to feel like you're working as a professional actor, and honestly I've learned so much from that experience. I also spent a few years helping with the younger group, which I used to be part of, at South Street Youth Theatre, so I got to learn how to work with children there and like direct and stuff, which was amazing. There's other stuff, but I won't read that next week, we've not got much time. So yeah, acting would be my greatest strength, but again, there's always room for improvement, especially with the strength. I think you invest the most time into that, so it's almost the one you want to continue being the strongest. So I'd love to be able to learn how to play more of a range of characters, because I often choose quite dramatic ones, but I'd like to learn how to like, play comedic ones, developing like strong emotions, and also vocal control and accents, because I'm not very good at accents. I'd love to be able to learn to dance, even if a little bit, because there's something so beautiful about watching dance, and I think it would really help, as I continue into the industry. Though I can sing to an extent, there's a lot of room for improvement, and I want to grow in my confidence most of all, and not be afraid to just like stand up and like sing. So what I've learned so far, I'll just kind of rush through these. So obviously we've been doing all the Stanislavski stuff, which is stuff I was already aware of, but I've learned a lot more about that. Sang my first solo, which was big. I know we all had to do it, but that was a big step, because obviously it took me out of my comfort zone, but that was really good. And then I've learned a lot about dance, because I knew barely anything about dance, from the last few weeks I feel like I've learned so much, which is really interesting. I'm actually really enjoying that, and learning about different founders of contemporary dance and stuff. Obviously learning about the composers has been very interesting, because it actually makes you realise how much more there is in the world of musical theatre, and how these composers like actually have really influenced the way musical theatre now looks. Okay, people who have influenced and supported me. So My Lambda coaches and those who are part of Berserk Productions, which I forgot to say I have been a part of for a few years, and that's who I did the National Theatre Connection show with. They have honestly been amazing, and especially the people who I've named here, they've just like invested so much time and supported me in ways, they've gone above and beyond. And then I'll just mention my dad, who is honestly like, he's kind of like my personal drama coach. Like when I'm doing a monologue, say for my Lambda exams, I'll go, right Dad, I want you to just like show me what I need to do and give me feedback. And he honestly, like, he is incredible with, he just sees it and it's like, right, you need to do this. And that's how I've done so well, I think, with my drama and acting. Ooh. What do I want to gain from this course? There's a lot, but most of all, I just want to be able to, I think, just grow as a performer and just like find new skills, find new strengths, and refine those that I have already done or already can do. Get equipped with the skills that can take me further into the industry, and I guess help me like to get into those unis and stuff. I want to also push myself out of my comfort zone and take risks, which I think is a big one because I often play it safe. And I think that would be really good. Yeah, I think I'll finish there. So.